Hi, this is Dawn Olszewski and welcome to another episode of How'd She Do That? And today we're back to basics with Stampin' Around Wheels. Now, I'm going to show you a couple different wheels. We're going to talk about how to use them and how to put them together and how to ink them as well. So let's get started. Now, the two of the three types of wheels that Stampin' Up! Carries, I'm going to show you today. And one is a standard wheel, and the other one is the jumbo wheel. Now, the only reason I have the jumbo wheel out is just to kind of just show you the difference in size. Is obviously the jumbo wheel is larger. It's actually like a double width size of this. It requires a separate handle, the jumbo handle. And if you're to use the ink cartridge, we carry those as well. So, but basically the same techniques and tips that I'm going to talk about apply. So let's talk a little bit about the ink cartridges. They come uninked, so there's no ink in them. Typically, when you would open this up, this would have been white, meaning that there was no ink in it. I'm trying to get this at an angle so that you can kind of see this a little bit better. Maybe if I come in just a tad closer. There you go. So you can see this is the ink pad, and we are going to refill it with the same kind of refills that you use to refill your regular ink pads. Now, what you want to do is you want to take this and let the ink just soak in, and then you move it with the tip of this and then continue to do that again. All right, until you've gone all the way around. Now, what I recommend is you would go all the way around and do that. Pretend that I'm inking this all up. And then I would set it aside, let it rest for a little bit, and then come back in maybe after like 15-20 minutes and then do it again and kind of blend it all together so that you get a nice even coat. But of course mine is already inked, so it's ready to go. The other thing that I do is I do label mine so that I don't have to reopen them to see what's in there or put them on a... Then there is this kind of fin here, and this slides into the slot here. So I'll come up so you can see this. So this is how you're going to put it into your cartridge here, is that fin slides into this slot. I'm going to take this off, and it sits like that. Then you're going to take your wheel, and it pops in. See, there's these little grooves here. They slide in like that, and they just pop in. Then you push that fin, that pushes it up, and now the ink is against the roller. And you'll turn it over. And the way that I like to ink is by pulling towards myself. And so then I'm just going to show you there's the ink. Now, the other tip is that you always roll in the same direction. If you roll this way one time and this way another time, you don't get, it's hard to see. Oh yeah, see, you're not getting as clean as an image. You want to keep the ink continually. Okay, so let's talk about how to actually use it onto your cardstock. Now here's what I recommend is that you want to start your image off of your paper and pull down towards you and pull off the paper as well. So I'm starting way up here and I'm going to pull it down towards me. Okay, and let's just say I wanted to cover the whole thing like that. I just keep doing it. So there's an option for you to do that. You could cover the whole thing. That's kind of cool, actually, and it would look like a wood panel sort of look to that. But actually, what I want to do is want to create a basket weave pattern with this. When I first looked at this, I thought of like I say, a basket, and I thought, how can I use it to create that look? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a diagonal. Again, starting off my paper, onto my paper, and then off again. Okay, and actually I wanted some spacing between it like that. Okay, now I'm going to turn it, and we're going to do that again. Isn't that cool? And look at that. We've got this great little basket weave look. So think of your images in a different way. You don't always have to use them straight up and down. So there you go. So there's some options for you. So next I want to talk about how to clean them. Usually what I do is I want to pull my ink cartridge back down so it's not up against the ink, the wheel itself. And I kind of hold that down with my thumb, and I'm going to pull the rest of the ink off on my scratch paper and getting most of the ink off of there. But as you can see, there's still some left. So I'm going to go ahead and clean that on my Stampin' Scrub. This is the Stampin' Mist. I'm going to just spray that with it. And again, I'm going to hold my ink cartridge down like that, and I'm going to pull it off. Okay? And then we'll dry it over here. And there you go. That's how you clean your Stampin' Around wheels. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull this apart. I want to get my ink cartridge out. I'm going to talk about storing them. I find that these lids are not really tight, so they tend to dry out a little bit faster, so you have to re-ink them more. However, what I like to do is I just take a rubber band and put it on there as tight as that rubber band will allow me to go, and there you go. So that works a whole lot better for storage purposes. Okay, so now that I've removed my cartridge, I've snapped back my wheel back in, and another option for inking up your Stampin' Around wheels is your ink pads. Now what you can do is you'll take your wheel and you'll press it against this and roll it towards you, and I like to count to like 8 or 10 times and get that really inked up really nice. I pull it in the same direction that I also do when I wheel across the paper. Okay, so the disadvantages of not having a cartridge is that when I go to do it a second time, see the difference? Or a third time. Okay, so you have to re-ink, just like you were stamping, you would re-ink it each time. Okay, so to get that nice dark image. Now, that's fine if you're just making 1 or 2 cards, but if you are mass producing like wedding cards or graduation cards, I would really recommend getting the ink cartridge, because that's really going to save you a lot of time when you're making cards like that. So I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial on Stampin' Around wheels, and get out your wheels and have some fun creating your own background papers or adding borders to cards or scrapbook pages. So thank you for joining me, and be sure to stop by my blog at DOstampingwithDawn.com for lots of inspiration and card ideas.